Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Horrorfest. And this time, we're finally going to review the Halloweentown sequels. First, we're starting with the first sequel that came out in 2001. This came out the same year as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and that is Halloweentown 2: Kalabar's Revenge. Looking back at it, I just recently watched it again, and it's a decent sequel, definitely. I prefer the first one, though. That is the best one of the franchise. But this is a decent sequel. I saw it again. I wanted to rewatch it because I hadn't watched it in years. And I still like Kimberly J. Brown as Marnie. She is Marnie. The mistake they made in the fourth one was replacing her. She is Marnie. She's a mix of she looks like a brown haired Emma Watson and with chubby cheeks, and she's really cute. I like her in the films. She's not a perfect character, but she's likable at least. I like Judith Hogue that she came back from the first one. Uh, she's April O'Neil in the very first Ninja Turtles movie. I miss Debbie Reynolds. I'm glad to see her. I was glad to see her again in this. The film world is just not the same without her or her daughter Carrie Fisher. Um, the second one also I liked Zoe Zimmerman that plays her brother Dylan and the little girl that plays her sister. They're back in from the first film, and they're likable as well. And the film is short; it's only about 80 something minutes long. It's not too long. They don't sing in it like in the High School Musical movies, and that's fine. There are some problems with the sequel though compared to the first one. Like first, I don't care for the villain. I know you're gonna say, "Oh, but no, Calabar is the best villain in this franchise." Period. He was menacing. He had a motive, and he had screen presence as a villain. I buy him as a villain. In the sequel, you have his son named Cal. Yeah, that Marty likes in the beginning of the film, and then he steals the book from her, and he says, "Oh, I've been the villain all along." He talks like through a freaking like block of in the middle of Halloween Town, everything turns gray, and he talks to a block and says, "Oh, I was the villain all along." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're weak. I'm sorry. You're just like Zemo in Civil War. You just don't serve a purpose. You're just the villain that a throwaway villain that they just patch together. Like, how can we bring Calabar back? Oh, we can't. So let's make him have a son that comes out of nowhere that kind of sucks." Yeah. Also, some of the CG in this movie is kind of dated. I mean, it's from 16 years ago. I wasn't expecting Avatar, or the Star Wars prequels, but it's really dated. Like it's a TV budget. You can definitely tell with the CGI. It's bad looking. It's just awful. Now, the rest of the film is actually pretty good. Like the sets and the props and the costume and the makeup is really well done. I like the supporting cast. I like the guy the black guy that plays the troll. He's fine in the film. Uh, the film is the film has some atmosphere to it. Some real practical stuff. I like seeing that. And even though it's not better than the first one, it also Marnie grows as a character, which is what you want in a sequel. It's not a rehash of the first film, so I appreciate that. Um, at the end, when they turn the parents or whatever, all the people into with their masks on, the makeup is really well done. It's really creepy. But the villain is just not a threat. I don't find him threatening in the slightest. And I'll get to that in the third one as well. Why I didn't like, there was some aspects of that I didn't like, but making the portals and going from Halloween Town to the human world, that's interesting. The headphone was a good idea, a red and a blue head that you talk into, and they can transfer the voice over the two dimensions, which is pretty cool. It's an interesting idea. So yeah, the film is held up. I mean, some of not the CG and not the villain though, but everything else is fine. The camera work is good. The sound, the mixing, the music is fine. Uh, the rest of the characters, like I said, and what can I say? I don't own the movies, but I would own only the first three because the fourth one is horrible. I'm gonna probably rant on that if I don't do it this month. I'll definitely do that in November. But the second movie is definitely a decent sequel. I liked watching it again. I hadn't watched it in a very long time because these are not my favorites. Like my favorite Disney Channel movie period is The Phantom of the Megaplex. Great premise, great actors, and it's standalone. It didn't need sequels. But this is, decent. I would put an honorable mention if I did like my favorite Disney Channel movies. This would be an honorable mention because I didn't grow up with these films. But as an adult seeing them, they're harmless. They're not going to hurt anybody. And at least the lead is likable. And she's not an SJW, which is great because, you have a female character. They never beat over the head of, that the men in the movie, the guys are in the film. They serve a purpose, except for the villain sucks, and also Alex or whatever his name is, the guy that plays the frog. Yeah, he wasn't needed. It's some random British actor that just is thrown in there, and I'm like, yeah, you didn't need him. He could have been cut out of the movie entirely. It's just unnecessary characters. The villain should have been either Kalabar should have came back, or they could have recasted him and just done a better job. Having a son do his dirty work just felt kind of cheap, but anyway, it's still a worthy sequel. I would at least say it's watchable. And for Halloween, why not watch it with your kids? It's not going to scare them. I mean, they could see much worse, like It, which is really creepy. And anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I know I kind of rushed through this review. It's a TV movie. It's not very long, so there's not much to say about it. But if you want to watch it, yeah, along with the first one, it's a good double bill. And next time, tomorrow, I will be reviewing Halloweentown High. So this one is definitely enjoyable watching it again after so many bad sequels on the Disney Channel. This is a freaking masterpiece compared to some of the other Disney Channel sequels I've seen in the last 10 years or so. So anyway, it's raining out. I want to just take a nap. It's been a long day. I've done nothing but laundry all day and watching these movies, but they were worth it. So Halloween Town 2 is pretty decent. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I will be back tomorrow with another review. Later.